My name is Philip Robinson.
What you about to do?
What I'm about to do, home defense, whether you want pistol, shotgun, what do you want for medium, long range.
Okay.
And it's just very devastating.
Okay.
Okay. How would it work for you in a tactical situation? Right.
But it's
So my eye don't get tired. And just safety wise. We are safe.
I think need a soundtrack. Damn.
So this is got a 13.4 inch barrel on it, which makes it a pistol because it's less than 16 inches.
Boom. We about to talk about guns with Phil Robertson. Let's go.
This video discusses various firearm models purely for educational purposes. Viewer discretion is advised. All discussions are within the context of legal and safe firearm usage.
So if you're a first time like not owning a weapon ever, what is a good thing for a beginner to know?
Well, the 4 universal rules of firearm safety. So we won't start there. The second thing I feel like you should know is what's your firearm for?
Okay.
So are you using it for recreation, like going to the range, stress relief, blowing off some steam?
Right.
Are you gonna have it for home defense?
Right.
Are you using it for personal protection when you leave the house, so like concealed carry? Are you a hiker? I live in Colorado. A lot of people go hiking, so are you going to use it for wildlife defense? They're all complete differences.
So you need to know your purpose.
Yes.
For the weapon instead of just buying something that you're just buying something.
Yeah, you don't want to buy something just to buy it because chances are you're going to be listening to somebody else that bought something.
Right.
And their use for their firearm is not going to be the same use for yours.
But that makes sense because it's a tool. So you don't want to just buy a screwdriver, and if in fact you need a hammer. So what kind of job are you doing so we know what kind of tool to get you?
Yeah, and if you are trying to get one weapon that does multiple things, okay. That changes it. So if you got one purpose for your firearm, fine. If you got multiple purposes and you just want one firearm, okay. Well, then we're gonna have to talk a little bit more.
What got you into this? When did you be like, this my shit? Like, I like this.
Before I went in the military, I never messed with firearms really. My dad, military stuff like that. My brother went in before I did, and I came out to Cali. I came out here, and we went shooting first time. My brother took me.
How old were you?
I was like 17. And I went shooting with him, and I was like, I think I like this.
Yeah.
So then I go in the military, and I, take a actual combat job, and I started doing all the weapons training and stuff like that. And it just worked with me. That's the way firearms work, the mechanics of them. If I do this, it'll get it to do this, just fine tuning, and also being a perfectionist type thing. Like seeing that little hole pop up.
Yeah.
Like I want to hit that same one. I don't want to be around here. I need to be, it's perfection. And that weapon and you, everywhere it goes, that's your perfection. So it just kind of worked with me. It's a tool.
It's almost like an appendage.
Yep.
It almost became like part of you. Like you got
I made
hands,
an
legs,
extension of me.
Right.
And it didn't matter what I picked up. I made that firearm an extension of me. So it doesn't matter what I grab. I can grab a $2,500 gun.
Right.
Or I can go grab that high point yeet cannon. And I'm going to sit there and I'm going to wreck with either one.
Right. Right.
It's the fundamentals. It doesn't matter what I grab. I can go grab a Sky. Those are trash.
A Sky?
Yeah, they call it Skies. They're trash. Absolutely. We don't even sell them in my establishment. We don't sell them in range. We have a list of guns on the wall that we refuse to sell.
Really?
That happens to be one.
Okay, so what is an example of what you wouldn't sell? Why wouldn't you sell it? Is it the accuracy?
Well, it's the makeup of the gun. They're not safe. They break a lot. Stuff like that. It's just a cheap gun. Okay. So for me, being in an establishment where we teach concealed carry and stuff like that, I'm going to be honest with my customers. I'm not going to sell this cheap old gun.
Right.
That's going to break on you. One, it's not going to save your life because chances are it might not work.
Right.
Number two, if you pull it out and you get a round off, the average gunfight is, 2.4 seconds to 6 seconds.
Really?
So you get one shot off. I mean, the average person is only hitting with 1 out of 6 rounds.
2.4 to 6 seconds is the average gunfight.
Here in the States, a situation where somebody has to pull out a firearm and use it, 2.4 to 6 seconds, it's over.
1001, 1002. That's wild.
So you have that much time to get your firearm out, fire a shot, fire a couple of shots on target while you're not going down.
Ooh, to save your life.
You're not doing that with a Scott. I'm sorry.
That's interesting.
Not to mention, I've had a few of them actually in the range, brand new, blow up.
Really?
It's just poor manufacturing. So here's another thing with firearms: you get what you pay for. A lot of times.
Right.
There are some guns that are really good self-defense guns that are budget guns. The Taurus G2C, G3C, those are budget guns. But I've got one. I've got a G2 Millennium. It's old. Never has jammed on me or anything once.
Really?
Is it comfortable to shoot? It is not my favorite gun, but it works.
What makes it uncomfortable to shoot?
Well, it's a budget gun. So it's super short. It's a budget gun, so the grip's not, done the way I like. It doesn't feel good in my hands, stuff like that. Doesn't have an upgraded trigger and all that stuff. But I'm gonna tell you what, if I pull that thing out, it's gonna work.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna hit what I need to hit.
And it's reliable.
It's reliable.
Consistently reliable.
Now I take that budget gun and I stick it next to a Scott. I'm not sure that one's gonna work. I know this one's gonna work for $30, $40 more. Okay. So I'm gonna take this one. We talk about High Point. High Point, I mean, at least if it doesn't work for you firing, you can hit somebody with it.
Like literally pistol whipping is probably more accurate.
You were hitting somebody with a bullet.
I was wondering why them suckers was $200. That's the first thing somebody told me before I started talking to y'all.
$200 is a high price High Point.
And it was cute. It was real cute. But you know what? You know what broke me? I was just telling him that. You know what broke me of that? Leon said, if you in a situation where your life depends on this thing to work or not, and it doesn't, right, that could cost you your life. And that was like, that's all because that just made sense.
So to me,
you got one time to save your life when your life is being threatened.
So I got a dude I work with, Clarence. Shout out to Clarence. Love that dude. He's on the, hey, get yourself a nice budget gun, so $300-$400, because if you have to use it, automatically it's going to get taken into evidence. Okay? They're going to arrest you automatically. That is true. But they'll come across the fact that it was justified. That's why you also get insurance. USCCA, got this dude said, he comes in when I teach concealed carry classes, and he meets with my students. He gets them signed up. They will put up $2.5 million for it. You don't have to come out of pocket. They'll put $2.5 million up for all your legal fees.
What?
Now, you're justified. You're going to end up getting that gun back. But to me, how much is my life worth to me?
Right.
So, I'm sorry. I'm not going to take that cheap gun. I'm going to take my Zev OZ9C Hypercomp that you shot earlier today. I'm going to rack the slide, make sure nothing pops out, and then I'm going to lock the slide open. I'm going to take a look inside the chamber. I see no round. I have no magazine. I like to stick my pinky in there, and I look in the chamber and make sure everything's safe.
Okay, gun safety.
Okay. So this is what we call the Zev OZ9C Hypercomp. Okay. Cool thing about this thing is this is my concealed carry gun. When I'm in the range, I also wear it on my leg. This is
right, so you remember how I want you to pick it up and all that, right?
Kinda.
Let me see what you remember. Go ahead and get this thumb up here. Slide your hand up a little bit. There we go.
Okay.
All right. You see it in there?
Oh, wow. Oh, it's a little green. Oh, that's dope. What?
I don't miss. John Wick would have a problem.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Slap that thing in there.
All right. Scoot all the way up. You want to get this thumb up here. All right. Now get on in here. All right. Do your thing. Don't forget to breathe.
Okay, we gotta look at that.
That's a Ferrari of a gun.
Okay, Ferrari.
it is not cheap.
Right.
But you know what?
Right.
Hey, I might run up against John Wick and I feel mad. I
Right.
won't feel bad, won't be scared, because that thing gonna do its job.
Right.
You saw the cards I was shooting. The ammo box is about this big.
Oh yeah, that's going
Same
in there.
hole.
That's going
Same
in there.
hole.
Watch
Yeah.
how small his target was compared to ours.
Yeah.
That was the target.
Yeah.
I don't see no misses. Is all I'm saying.
And we're
Playing
talking
card side.
15, 20 yards is what I rolled it out to.
Right. Oh, really?
I rolled it all the way back.
I couldn't even see it no more. I forgot. I didn't know it was still up there until you took it
Yeah,
down. I was like,
I rolled
oh,
it
we
all the way
did.
in.
Yeah.
So that goes to show, one, your tool matters.
Right.
Number two, your training matters.
It
Because
does.
I could give you the nicest thing out there, the top of the line. I can get you a TTI, Terran Tactical Innovations. I mean, that's what John Wick used in the movies, and those guns are like that. They are amazing firearms.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the training, and if
Right,
you don't have
for sure.
the basis, it doesn't matter what you have.
Facts.
So,
Facts.
like so I say, I could pick up a high point, and if it goes off, I'm going to hit.
I get
I could pick
that.
up a sky, I could, charge G2C, and I'm going to hit what I'm shooting at.
Right.
But what feels great in my
get that.
hand?
Right.
My hand feels great on that gun.
Right.
So not only am I know I'm accurate with my skill and training, but it's effortless.
Right.
It's
No, I get
I
that.
like to be surgical with my firearms.
Right.
Okay. Could I
Surgical
perform?
with this shit, Denzel. Surgical with this shit.
Is it? So if I'm in a situation,
Yeah.
could I perform surgery with a butcher knife? Absolutely. It's got
Yeah, if you had
sharp
to.
enough edge, I can get it done.
Right.
I can get that bullet out of you. I can get in there and do what I need to do. But wouldn't I prefer to use a scalpel?
Right. Right. Of course.
Effortless.
A tool.
But I want that fine tool
Right.
to cause less damage.
Got you. No, that
It
makes
gets the
sense.
job done easier. So do you want the butcher knife or would you prefer to protect your life with the scalpel?
Right.
I want the scalpel.
Right. I got you. No, that totally makes sense. Now, what's some of the misconceptions when it comes to self-defense, especially because of the different states where it's not justifiable homicide? Like when you're defending yourself, what are some of the things that need to be clarified when it comes to us?
Your clarification comes from what state you live in.
Okay.
So if I'm in Texas,
Right.
Oklahoma, places like that, out of the South, if they are on your property, that's
Period.
make my day law.
Right.
In Colorado, though, they could be in your yard. They could be on your roof. They could be in your garage. They could be on your porch. You are not cleared to fire your weapon. They must step inside the actual dwelling. Now, once they step inside the dwelling, you do not have to give them a warning. You don't have to say a word. You can turn them into SpongeBob. If they are on your property and not in your dwelling, you are not cleared of fire. So what you need to do is, depending on the state that you live in, you need to check the laws for defending
Okay.
yourself. You are not typically permitted to defend property. If somebody's stealing your car,
Right. You have to really
call
have
it
your
in,
life in
let
jeopardy.
the car go. Exactly. There are three things. The person has to have intent, they have to have the ability, and they have to have opportunity.
Right.
So you must feel that their actions are the intent to serious bodily harm, loss of limb, eye, or death,
Right.
brain damage.
Okay.
Okay, they have to have the opportunity. So they have to be close enough to you. So if I got somebody at 25 yards, okay, and they're yelling at me and saying they're going to do this and do that, and they got a knife,
Right.
they have the intent.
Right.
Technically, they do not have the ability because they're that far away and they don't have the opportunity.
Okay.
So I am not cleared to take that life. So you have to have all three of those at the same time.
Really?
Your life must be in danger. Now, for ladies, there is one situation where that does not matter.
Stay tuned for the next episode of What You About To Do when Phil discusses an exception every woman should know.